Coding Mind 探访的第一位毕业学员是被杜克大学ED录取的 Joshua。Joshua 作为Coding Mind 建立以来的第一批学员，见证了Coding Mind 的发展。Coding Mind也看着 Josh 从一个小朋友一步步成长为现在这样一个超级优秀的青少年。让我们听听 Josh 是如何获得杜克大学的录取，以及他对即将申请大学的学生们又有什么建议吧。
Hi, I'm Josh. I graduated from Arnold Beckman High School, and I've committed to Duke University for this fall. I applied to the engineering school, and I'll be studying electrical engineering for my next 4 years. I picked early decision Duke because I really love the culture, the people, the food, the campus, and really just everything about the university. And so I'm really excited to be joining Duke University in the fall. When I opened my admissions letter, I had actually just finished robotics practice with my friends. So we were going to go out and grab some food and open our admissions letters together. So it was pretty fun. It wasn't super nervous because I had everyone with me, and I was really hoping to get in. So when I finally opened it and I saw that I got in, I was really excited, and all of my friends were cheering for me. And yeah, it was just a really surreal moment, and I'm just really excited to be going there next fall. Very beginning, I actually wanted to major in computer science. I really loved to code when I was younger, and so going into high school, I thought I was going to end up majoring in computer science. But as I kind of got older and I went through different activities and summer camps, I kind of realized that in order for society to evolve, it was going to be necessary for there to be innovation in technology. And so gradually, I kind of became more and more interested in engineering. And I also really like to make things with my hands, and I like to create and innovate. So I felt like engineering would just be the perfect major for myself. So when I first started to prepare for college applications around like my freshman or sophomore year, I really knew that I had to maintain a high GPA, and that GPA and standardized testing would be really important. And so by the end of my first semester of senior year, I had a 4.6 weighted and a 3.98 unweighted. Although it wasn't at the top of my class, I don't think the difference was that big. And I think that the important thing to remember for trying to maintain a high GPA is that you should always try to find the study method that works for yourself. Sometimes what other people do does not work for yourself. And another thing is to make sure that you're always on your teacher's good side, because making an enemy out of the person that controls your grade never helps you. So make sure you're friends with your teachers and you find a good study method for yourself. For standardized testing, I also struggled a little bit with the SAT because I only ended up getting a 1540. In the end, I couldn't really have enough time to take more attempts, and so I decided that that was a good stopping point, and I would try to focus on other parts of my application. For example, I took a lot of APs. Over my time in high school, I ended up with 15 APs, 9 of which I took before my senior year, and I got all 5s on those. So I felt like that was good enough to cover for what I did in the other parts of my application. So to make my profile kind of stand out, I knew I had to do some activities that would set me apart from other people. And one thing that I really saw had a potential was summer programs. And one of the summer programs I attended in my sophomore year summer was Cosmos at UCSD. Here, I really met a lot of amazing people, and I participated in the Hacking for Oceans cluster, where we were able to actually make autonomous boats and collect water data. I think this was really fun, and it was a really great experience for myself. And I would definitely do it over again if I could. In my junior year summer, I participated in a program called ASIP, where I conducted one-on-one research with a professor, where we eventually ended up being able to publish the paper, and I was able to present a lecture and presentation at DC in one of the largest transportation conferences. I'm very grateful to have worked with him, and I think that was a really good experience for me too. In school, I participated in things like robotics, and over my 3 years in the club, we got a lot of awards, and I think that I learned a lot and I developed a lot of skills. And through a lot of these activities, I think that I was able to create a good story, which was very helpful for college applications. And just having all of these activities that go well with each other is very important. Yeah, so in that summer program in my junior year, my professor, Dr. Alireza Ermagan, he was really devoted to his work, and I felt like sometimes he was actually a little bit too overbearing. And in fact, during the summer program, he actually fired a few of the interns because they weren't doing work up to his level of standard. And so when I was in this kind of environment, I kind of knew that I had to step it up a little bit. And in order to gain his trust, I worked really hard, a lot of times 60 plus hour weeks in the lab to try to get more and more work done. And so this really led us to be able to form like a bond, and this lasted all the way outside of the program into the school year, where we actually just finished publishing our paper in one of the best journals for transportation. Yeah, so I actually started writing my essays in that junior summer during my summer program, and because I started writing a lot really early on, it was actually a pretty chill process for me. I didn't feel too stressed out when I was writing because the deadlines were really, really far, and I had finished my essays pretty early. And so by the time I had received my acceptance to Duke for my ED, I had finished all of my essays already for every school, including the regular ones. And so I just felt that like extra layer of security where even if I didn't get in, I didn't really need to rush to write a bunch of essays because I had them done already. So even though it wasn't too bad, there were still some times where I would get stressed out a little bit. And so when that happened, I really liked to maybe go grab some food with friends or maybe go work out a little bit with my friends. And so, yeah, I think those are some pretty good options if you're looking to take a break when working. So for interviews in college or for college admissions, a lot of schools actually prefer to keep it more chill, and they don't want to place too much pressure on the kids during interviews. And so at least for me, I felt like it was a very comfortable experience. I talked to one of the alumni for around an hour, and we had a really cool chat. I really connected with him during the interview, and we talked about our hobbies, our interests, like what I wanted to do in the future, what I liked about Duke. And so it was really cool just to talk with somebody who had just graduated the place I wanted to go to. And yeah, I think that these kinds of interviews, especially like the ones at Duke, make you feel really comfortable, and it can be a really positive experience. I'd also really like to thank Coding Minds for everything they've really done for me and how much they've helped me. Starting from when I was a really young kid, maybe like 10 years ago, I started as one of their first students there. And as I got older, Dr. Sun actually really inspired me to begin coding seriously. He introduced me to like USACO and other competitions that really helped me become better at coding and eventually helped me really love engineering. And one of the examples is one of my passion projects I brought to Coding Minds, and I received guidance there. It really helped me learn how to do research, and eventually we were able to not only publish a research paper and present at a conference, but I was also actually able to obtain a patent. And I felt like this was a really cool experience where I was able to do hands-on work and learn a little bit more about the writing. And yeah, I think I'm just really grateful for everything that Coding Minds has done for me. And to those who are applying to college or are preparing to apply to college, my biggest piece of advice, activity-wise, is to sort of find something that you really like to do and try to become as good at it as possible, and to kind of center your activities around what you really like to do and what you're good at, so that when you apply to college, you kind of have a clear direction and your profile isn't super scattered. I think that one of the things that helped my application was that I had one or two things that I really enjoyed to do, and I did almost everything around that. And so it really showed the admissions officers that I had a sense of what I wanted to do. And so yeah, I think that's just something important to keep in mind.